Robert back here. Picked up this old Wenzel lantern the other day. Not a bad looking lantern, but some people don't like them because they're not the best quality in the world. But just from what I can see of it, I think I like it. It seems to be a better quality than a butterfly. But hey, let's tear in this thing and see what we got. I picked this up, I pumped it up, it held pressure, and it appears it's never been lit. The best I can tell, it has never been lit. But I did pump it up, and when I released the pressure out of the fount, it reeked of unleaded gasoline. So at some point somebody was going to fire it, tried to, and they put unleaded gasoline in it, and maybe they realized that it didn't use unleaded. I don't know. I don't have a clue, and no telling how many years ago that was. But like I said, it doesn't look like it's been fired. So let's take this thing apart, clean it, put it back together, and put the proper kerosene back in it, see what happens. Okay, this Wenzel is an oddball size fount. It really doesn't fit my vise with any of my adapters, but I've got these little rubber pieces here I cut up. It was that big. I cut it in 3 strips, so I'm going to use those for my adapters, and I think this is going to work well. Probably just going to need the one. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the bell. The bell holds the ventilator in place. And it is a rust. Ventilator's in good shape other than being dirty. As you can see, there's no signs of any smoking in there. Ceramic burner. I got lucky, it turned right out. Let's put that aside for safekeeping. After looking at that closer, that's not actually a screw. It's got a screw head, but it's actually like a little baffle. I can turn that. The camera picked that up. See down in there? I think that's to adjust the airflow through that air intake tube. So let's open that wide open for right now. I think that's where we're going to need it. That's going to make it difficult for me to get something all the way through there, but we'll find something. Okay, I've got this long flexible spring. I mean, it's really flexible. It's what I use for cleaning out my air tubes. We need to go right around these bends. And I can see in there, I don't know if you can see in the camera or not, the lighting, but it's going all the way around, and I can see it underneath that baffle. So I know what's going through the bend. Let's get those cobwebs out of this side here. Mentioned I still got the little plastic rings they use for shipping to keep the globe from rattling and getting cracked. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to remove this generator. Looks like it's either a 9/16 or a 15 millimeter. Yep, 9/16 it is. Okay, talking about the lesser quality, it's something you won't see in a Coleman and most other brands. Get that really sloppy, all the weld splatter on there. See if we can clean them up a little bit. It's a little bit better. Still got a few sanding scratches in it. I can work on that later if I want to. Right now I'm going to remove this tip. It's like 11-30 seconds. It's a little warm. Done the trick though. Got it loose, but I'm going to set that back down and let it cool off before I actually grab the tip of that. I went ahead and put the tip back on there. I just wanted to see through the generator, see what it looked like. I mean, this has no springs or anything in it, no packing. So, I mean, it was all clean, so I just put her back together. Okay, that cleaning needle is working as it should, going up and down. Okay, I done some reading on this, and the only way to get that out is to take the valve out. You know, I'm not a big fan of adjustable wrenches. I really don't like them, but this is an oddball size. I'm going to strip it with the wrenches I have if I don't use it. So. And that is a huge cleaning needle. That thing's over 1 foot long. Okay, there is a screw down in here. Remove that, and that little priming pan and the bottom plate should come out of there. Anyway, now that'll just lift off there. The plate will come out of the bottom. Okay, at this point, it looks like it's a lead seal there. I'm not going to mess with that unless I absolutely have to, since I really think this has been unfired. Hopefully it will be in good shape. So I just basically want to get this part and give it a good cleaning. So I don't want to mess with those seals. Go ahead and take the cap off. Pressure gauge. Seal still feels soft. We'll see. You can just turn this pump off. Appears to be in good shape. Caked with grease. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the grease. I'm just going to soak that in some neat's foot oil. Let it soak while we're cleaning this. Okay, the check valve looks like it just got a regular flat screw type on it. I'm going to mash down on the screwdriver with one hand, turn it with the other, and hope for the best. And it's turning fairly easy. Appears to be a lead seal on that too. I hope I didn't mess up taking that out. We'll see. Okay, let's see if we have as much luck getting that thing back in as we did getting it out. Simple enough, just hope it don't leak. Pay no attention to that decal on there. Not sure how that's going to affect it, so I'm just going to wipe that off that decal, not let it soak. By the way, that's just a cheap oven cleaner. I'll spray that again and we'll let it soak a few more minutes. While it's soaking, I'm just going to pour some denatured alcohol inside there. Didn't have much fuel in it, just a little in the bottom, whatever that was. Okay, off camera, I'm just going to take this and rinse it off with the water hose. Okay, that thing still kind of splotched up. That's okay, because I plan on using this from time to time. I use most of my lanterns once in a while. So, I mean, this would be a good runner, taking it camping. This is the worst part of taking one of these valves apart, is trying to get these valves to line back up with that eccentric block. Well, that was simple enough. That's doing the trick. Set this frame back on. Line your hole up for your generator. Be careful not to hit that tip. It's got another slot for the rapid heater, preheater. Bottom plate back in. It'll only go in one direction. And our burner priming pan. It's got a little hole that will fit right down in and go right around that generator tube. Try to line this back up. Well, I think I done it first try. Not often that happens. Okay, I want to make sure that tip cleaner is in the down position. Carefully drop this right over the needle. Maybe we'll take his tip back off first. Tighten this generator down. Just going to snug it. I'm not going to put a lot of pressure on that. Should snug up pretty good. Thing about these cheaper made lanterns, these brass fittings, they're not as fine as the Coleman. Coleman, you can do all your tightening and untightening by hand, except for the initial with the wrench, just breaking it. Couldn't actually tighten it. These cheap brass threads, I mean, they'll fight you all the way. You can't turn them by fingers. I don't think the camera is going to pick that up. I can barely see it myself, but I can definitely feel it. The needle is coming out of the tip of the jet there, so we're in good shape there. I think I can drop that globe back on now. Okay, this ceramic burner feels really fragile. So I'm just going to tighten it down by hand. I am not going to try to use any kind of tool on that. Try to get it fairly tight. Okay, you have to put all this in here first before you burn that metal. It's got to feed down through that generator. I can't do that with a burnt mantle. So I'm assuming that when you preheat that, the alcohol will burn that mantle. Massage this oil into that leather. Go ahead and put some alcohol in the frying pan. No, I think I like it. Gotta figure out how to work that rapid preheater. Okay, at first I couldn't get that rapid preheater to light. Took it back apart and I used a tip cleaner and got down there and cleaned that little jet out because I could hear it hissing in there when I would open it, but it just wasn't getting enough kerosene to light. So let's try this again. There we go, that's what I'm talking about. I'm definitely not a fan of that rapid heater. I don't think it's pointed quite enough toward the main part of that generator. Turn that light back off so we can see it better. I think that I like the lantern itself, but I like the old-fashioned way of just priming it with the pan instead of the rapid heater. So I'm glad it's got both. Alright, y'all know the routine. Like, share, subscribe. God bless.